anyone else in the residence with you?
Today on the CTV News at 5, why the province is proposing a 911 fee for your cell phone bill. Plus, why a Lethbridge High School went into lockdown this afternoon. And
we're excited about this new plan that we're bringing forward to City Council.
Downtown Lethbridge could be getting a facelift.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. The Alberta government is proposing a new fee for cell phone users. The money will go towards supporting 911 call centers who say they are in dire need of additional funding to keep up with technological advances. Local officials say that the fee will cost Albertans less than $5 a year, but would make a world of difference to the service they provide. Daryl Rummel reports.
Is anyone else in the residence with you?
The calls for help seem never-ending inside Alberta's 911 call centers. Today, it was their calls for help that seemed to be answered. By adding a 44-cent charge to each cell phone user, Minister Doug Griffith says his government can help Alberta's call centers meet some of the challenges they face. Challenges like keeping up with advancements in technology. Officials say centers weren't built to accept text or video messages or access GPS systems on callers' cell phones.
Because some of these new technologies 911 call centers are trying to incorporate, of course, have increased costs. So whether or not this fully compensates for it so that they can add those technologies, we'll continue to address as we go forward. But boy, this goes a long ways to help make sure that they're viable for years to come.
It's certainly welcome to know that some funding might be available. We do struggle, 911 funding, as the minister said, it comes from landline revenue, is where a lot of the revenue comes from, but it's only landlines, and more cell phone users are out there.
There are an estimated 2.7 million cell phone users in Alberta, and many operators across the province say cell phones can account to up to 70% of the calls they receive. Unlike landline users, cell phone users do not directly contribute to the cost of 911 services. Some subscribers already pay a 911 access fee on their bill. That money goes towards funding infrastructure and emergency services, not the call centers.
This absolutely is a fabulous announcement. This helps us link ourselves to our customers when they need our help the most, and this makes sure that the system is sustainable long term so that we can make sure we can get people help when they need it, where they need it as fast as possible.
44 cents per cell phone per month would cost the average Albertan roughly $5 per year. But for call center operators, it could be an additional $16 million in funding to be split up between the province's 24 call centers to help them help those when they need it the most. Daryl Rummel, CTV News, Lethbridge.
As soon as we posted this story on Facebook and Twitter, it immediately created a discussion. Ty says anyone that finds 44 cents a month a hindrance on their budget should probably cancel their Netflix, Xbox, and other pointless subscriptions. Paying just over $5 a year towards a 911 call center is not going to put you on the streets. B wrote, they already take enough for landlines. If this is passed, I will disconnect my cell phone. I pay enough already to even have it running for safety purposes. Evan thought, why don't they just take the 44 cents out of the 911 fee we already pay instead of passing the charge on to the customers? Well, Jackie suggested, what about a fee that charged you the 911 service if you use it? That way, everyone would pay essentially for their own 911 usage. The bill is to be introduced at the next sitting of the legislature. A student making threats caused a lockdown at a Lethbridge High School this afternoon around 1 o'clock. Police were called to Winston Churchill High School after a student was heard uttering threats. Public School Superintendent Barry Latoon says students were kept in their classrooms. Police were called and the situation was resolved very quickly. The student was arrested at the school without incident. We're told that the lockdown procedure was part of the school safety protocol and no one was ever in any real danger.
In order to ensure the safety of our students and staff, some precautions were taken. The police service responded. Everything is back to normal. The school day is proceeding as normal. I can assure everyone that no one was in danger and no one was harmed. We are going to investigate, and once we have all the details, we will then issue a statement to our parents and our greater community.
Classes resume shortly after 2 o'clock. The school, as Barry mentioned, will be following up with the community after its investigation is complete, and that could take a couple of days. Thieves in Fort Macleod helped themselves to a motel room's services. According to RCMP, someone broke into a hotel room back on January the 6th and carried out anything and everything that wasn't bolted down. Police believe the same person hit 2 other locations in January, stealing jewelry and other items from homes. If you have any information, please contact either Fort Macleod RCMP or Crime Stoppers. And there's no word yet on autopsy results in the sudden death of a 58-year-old Lethbridge man. Monday afternoon, police were called to this home along 200 Stafford Bay North after an acquaintance discovered the deceased. Police have confirmed it was the homeowner who passed away and that the circumstances appear suspicious. Neighbors have identified the man as George Spann. If you have any information that might help, you're urged to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Okay, Dory Rossiter, more wind is on the way tonight and tomorrow.
Absolutely. We have an area of high pressure to the west of us, and then we have this low pressure that's kind of coming down out of the northwest. So, you know, it's a fight between the low and the high, and the result of that, of course, is the strong winds. But I'll have all the details, the windy details, coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Dory. Well, the Chamber of Commerce is planning to give the city's downtown a facelift.
We're excited about this new plan that we're bringing forward to City Council.
Chamber members made the announcement today at the Lethbridge Lodge. Plans to redevelop the downtown have been in the works for the past year and a half. They include recommendations to capital improvement spending for changes to some of the main arteries, including 3rd Avenue and 5th Street South. The city's downtown revitalization manager says they hope to carry out the makeover over the next 10 years.
One of the things that we recognize is that as we make some of the changes to the streets, there will be changes to where parking takes place and whatnot right now. And so we want to make sure that there's always somewhere for people to park. There's also an issue relative to employee parking and customer parking. So we're always sort of in a situation where we're trying to get the right balance between, you know, having that kind of parking available for both of those major user groups.
The Chamber has posted information on their proposal on their website at lethbridgechamber.com. The federal government is making an investment in the safety at the Lethbridge County Airport. Lethbridge MP Jim Hillier announced nearly $450,000 will be spent upgrading the airport's snowblower truck. They'll also upgrade the existing runway condition reporting system. The money comes from the airport's capital assistance program. County officials say the news comes at a time when their equipment is in dire need of replacement, especially in order to attract new airlines and expand service.
Looking down the future, I think that we probably would have to add on to a bit to the terminal building, but that's in the future. We have to get the service running out of here up and running first. But I think the most important part is to make sure that we have an airport that is safe to operate and is viable to operate.
Since 1998, more than $8.6 million has been spent on upgrades to the airport. Alberta beef farmers say they are still facing some serious challenges in their industry. Agricultural beef experts from across North America spoke to a sold-out crowd at Lethbridge College today. They say they're still recovering from the massive beef recall late last year at the Brooks meatpacking plant. This year's theme, dealing with uncertainty in agriculture. Experts say their main contention is the many issues the beef industry is facing.
We're falling behind. The U.S. is finding markets around the world. We're stuck only selling to the U.S. market. We're down 1 million beef cows in Canada over the last 5 or 6 years.
We're negotiating with just about all of our largest beef markets, and there's significant barriers there. And we need to get those barriers down. The opportunity to do it is in these negotiations. And if we don't do it, our competitors are going to do it in negotiations they have, and we're going to wind up being disadvantaged rather than getting ahead.
Those discussions happened today at the Tiffin Conference. It's an annual event to provide learning opportunities to Southern Alberta's farmers and ranchers. And logging protesters are heading back to court to stop logging in the Castle Special Area. A group of local residents and the Castle Crown Wilderness Coalition have been fighting against logging in the Beaver Mines area for the last year. The issue is what the protesters call a lack of effective consultation and the fact that the area is considered core grizzly bear habitat. The group had previously taken the case to court, saying the logging license for the area southwest of Pincher Creek is invalid. Now that case was dismissed because the license they were fighting had expired. The province did suspend logging of the next phase for more public consultation, though. The case will be back before the courts on Monday. A rally, though, is planned for Sunday at the Beaver Mines area around 11 a.m. Hospital officials continue to ask residents who feel sick to stay at home or consult HealthLink before visiting overcrowded waiting rooms. The Chinook Regional Hospital in Lethbridge and the Medicine Hat Hospital are both experiencing high occupancy rates in several wings. Neither facility has been forced to cancel any procedures, though. Health officials recommend frequent hand washing and avoiding the flu. And if you have already, consult your local HealthLink or family physician before using any emergency rooms. A longtime Liberal senator is set to officially retire after it was revealed she's been suffering from Alzheimer's disease. Senator Joyce Fairbairn will make the announcement tomorrow. Fairbairn broke ground as one of the first female journalists in the Parliamentary Press Gallery. She also served to Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau as a senior advisor and became the first leader of the government in the Senate. She was first appointed to her seat in 1984. Time now for a look at the day's markets.